Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. So listen up, we back in the game. Sweet the lead, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Right for the true and the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweet the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every rubber rock stats, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweet, you say the lead. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweet the League Radio.
Legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play. We bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Marie calling the shots. With Derek Curvin, straight Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the blondes at the drives to Mahomes on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
I don't think LeBron's the GOAT. I don't think Michael Jordan's the GOAT either, though.
Oh, so we're going a different direction.
I think we're going to go in the direction of Stephen Curry. And I'm going to point out your simple statement in one word.
Steph Curry?
You said laughably.
Okay.
And to me, that's bigger than Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. You are simply hitting and taking a hit, a personal shot at the entire game of basketball that we are watching today. LeBron always posts on Instagram, he says, iron sharpens iron. Where was the iron sharpening iron with Michael Jordan when he was winning all of his championships? I understand that 6-0 is something that is perfect. You really can't debate it. But what you can do is say, all right, it was a beautiful thing. We're going to leave it in the past because there is greatness in front of our eyes, and it's LeBron James and it's Stephen Curry. And then we get into LeBron versus Steph, and I'm going to sit here and say, Steph Curry, if he wins a 5th championship, which he will, which is why I'm saying Steph's the GOAT, if he wins that 5th title, he is the greatest of all.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
And as you can tell, we are doing a Wacky Wednesday edition here on Sweep the League. A little bit of power outage a little while ago. Got my internet back up, power's back up, so we're good right now. Hopefully we goes the whole way here. Played that beginning last night. We're going to play it again tonight because last night's show kind of screwed up with the freeze a little bit there on the cameras. Nonetheless, it's going to be myself. It's going to be Coach Gio here. Let me bring him on in because we got a little bit of time and a lot to get into tonight. Let's bring in the coach himself. NIL check has cleared, so he is back. You are on mute, Coach. Don't forget to unmute yourself, man.
No, I was aware I was on mute. I didn't know you wanted me to talk.
Oh, man, you have the green light to say whatever went over tonight. Joel Colon says, what is up, Rudy? What is up, Gio? See, everybody's happy that you're back. Everybody loves it when Coach Gio is back. On Sweep the League.
I'm here, just been pretty busy, so but it's always a pleasure to come on, Rudy.
I know I try to get you as much on here as possible, and the fans, the listeners need to know I do my best to get Gio on the show every single night. because I know he's the most beloved guy on Sweep the League. So everybody loves Coach Gio.
No, Rudy, that's you.
I don't
Tar
know
Heel.
about that, man. I really
It's because you're a Tar Heel.
Oh yeah, that you got to bring up the Tar Heel. Because I'm a Falcon, fan and all that stuff. I know. Give me all the smoke. Jacob Eric is in here. He's saying, "Let's go." Jacob Eric, Grading the Market is our own host. Grading the Market for Sweep the League Network. You can catch more episodes of Grading the Market here pretty soon. Maybe him and Elias, maybe, or maybe Eric will take over Saturday or Friday's edition of Sweep the League. So we'll see. You're gonna get more of Jacob Eric here on Sweep the League Network. Shout out to MCS General Contracting, the proud sponsors of Sweep the League. They're the reason why we are 24/7 with I Am Refocused Radio. So be sure to go to our YouTube page or Sweep the League TV. Hit that subscribe button. We want to try to get to 2K subscribers. That'd be pretty cool here. We're only at 1.2 right now. 1.295 is what it is, 1,295. So we want to get to 2K. That'd be awesome here if you guys can help us with that. All you got to do is share the link out. Get your friends to do it. Why? Because that supports MCS General Contracting. The more of you that subscribed, the more ears and eyes it gets to on MCS General Contracting, the best in the business. We'll get to them here in just a little bit more with more of their advertisements and something in the works here for MCS and Sweep the League as well. Y'all have a great episode, fellas. I'm out here by the beach with my wifey. That's right. Shout out to Sith, man. He's a part-time host here on Sweep the League Network, and him and I, Gio, I don't know if you're into the wrestling stuff, but tomorrow at 7 o'clock, STL 316 is back as we preview WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania this weekend, man. Are you going to watch it, Gio?
I normally do watch WrestleMania. I'm more of a fan of the old school wrestling, Rudy. Kind of grew up on the wrestling of the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression, and then some of after that. And then kind of went a little bit in a lull because wrestling was kind of, but lately, the last few years, Rudy, has been box office. So
it really has.
And that's because not just The Rock, but obviously others. But I'm excited to see. We might maybe see Stone Cold Steve Austin, this weekend. We'll see.
We're going to try to preview everything tomorrow for WrestleMania. It starts at 7 o'clock. So be sure to join us here on Sweep the League. Best way to get it is on our X page at Sweep the League, or the absolute most prolific way you can get it is by going to YouTube, searching Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss tomorrow's STL 316. Also, shout out to Sith, man. It's his wife's B-Day today. Happy birthday to Mrs. Sith. We're going to say Mrs. Sith. I'm not sure on the name, so we're going to just say Mrs. Sith Lord. It's a happy birthday today. Very happy birthday over there to the family over there. Jeff is in here. Gio, what do you think about Castle not going to be the unanimous Rookie of the Year? Fans are pissed off about it. And Jeff was grilling me last night on the show. If I was, I don't know, if I did something wrong back in the day, my dad would grab the belt and start, spanking my butt. Jeff was really, really, really beating me down last night. What does a kid say? No diddy, pause, whatever it is. Not like that. He was really just, beating me down like that on the whole fans and Castle and everything. And I told him, honestly, personally, I didn't expect him to get unanimous, but he's going to win. I think a win is a win is a win. Is it that important that he gets a unanimous Rookie of the Year vote?
I wouldn't say it's important, Rudy. He should. Who else is he really up against? I mean,
Tim Bontemps, I think from ESPN, voted for Reese Archier. He gave Zachary Reese Archier a first place vote. And like I told Jeff last night, I think it's because the Hawks made the play-in. And he was a pretty big piece for that. So I get that.
You do have to factor them. But Rudy, at the end of the day, hey, the Spurs have something, right? At least one award. And Victor will obviously get his other awards as well. But I mean, unanimous is great, Rudy. But listen, even the great Ichiro Suzuki, Rudy, he didn't get unanimous, which, by the way, was a bunch of bullcrap. I would like to, what baseball needs to show the voters, Rudy. They really do. Because Ichiro, I don't even have to go through his stats, Rudy. His numbers were just out. And Rudy, he didn't get unanimous. So, unfortunately, Castle, someone had to screw it up. But
yeah,
A really good season. We've talked about throughout the year him getting better and better. I can't wait to see what the future holds. But would have loved to see unanimous because honestly, he should have been.
Well, yeah, he should have been. But I mean, is it that big of a deal that fans are pissed off about it? I mean, because he got basically the nine votes are out from riders, and he got 8 out of 9 first place votes. The guy that voted for Tim, he voted for him for second place.
Spurs fans just want something to complain about because clearly the season's over for them. So you got to reach at something, Rudy. And at this very moment, it's this. Tomorrow, it could be something else. At San Antonio, the drama is always there.
It's very, very true. I would say that. I will say that much, man. It's the drama's there. It is what it is. You know what?
Especially on X. But I'll leave that be.
Oh God, you're gonna make us. You're gonna get everybody all pissed off at us, man. It's gonna be all pissed off at us. Definitely right here. But nonetheless, man. Hey, he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. It's back-to-back Rookie of the Years for the Spurs. What more can we want, right? I mean, let's be real. It's one of the few positives in a bad Spurs season. I mean, what the hell more do we want?
Yeah, I mean, you get that. You also have a trade they did during the year. Rudy, can't wait to see what happens next season. And the offseason is on the horizon, Rudy. There's a lot to really see. But this is kind of a good start heading into that offseason.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It's a great start. We'll get back more to Jeff on the Rookie of the Year stuff. We got some Spurs stuff to talk about as well. Nice, Sith. Enjoy the sand, bro. Yeah, Sith. Enjoy the beach, man. It's not every day you can get out to the beach and enjoy it. And he's telling you, Gio, the attitude era is coming back. It's making it come back. We got blading, they got cussing, aggression. It's coming back. So you need to tune in 100%. Eddie, shout out to Eddie the Great. He's in here. What's y'all's opinion on the Hall of Fame inductees? I don't know if you know the Hall of Fame inductees, Gio, but I'm going to announce them here for you. Triple H is going in to the Hall of Fame. I mean, again, he went in with the Generation X. He's going in by himself. Michelle McCool, which is a kind of a controversial one. I mean, people are saying she doesn't get in if she's not married to The Undertaker. Two-time WWE Women's Champion. So, I mean, she's got accolades. Two-time an inaugural WWE Divas Champion, a two-time Slammy Award winner. She's got some accolades there, but again, is what it is, I guess is what we can say. One of the biggest ones for me, Gio, was Lex Luger. The video of Diamond Dallas Page working with Lex Luger, getting him to be able to stand up, take a couple of steps. I mean, it's going to be a heartfelt moment for Lex Luger. He's gone through so much at the end of his career. Long overdue for Lex to get into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to say right now, that is one where if the man is up and walking to the podium, which I fully feel like he's going to be able to, I'm going to shed a tear, man. I mean, those three right there. What do you think of those three before I get to the rest of them?
No, Rudy, you're talking about the total package. Rudy, I dare say, or will say, one of the best physiques we've ever seen in wrestling. I mean, when he was up there, he was the complete total package. It had a great run in all his different stops. I remember when he beat Hogan on WCW, when they were always doing crazy stuff on there. He won on a regular, simple day. Lex, about time. It's good to see him in good spirits, Rudy, because we all know what he's been through, and he's had a lot of stuff happen through him throughout his career. But a good moment and something that I can't wait to see.
A tag team basically going in to the WWE Hall of Fame. I get Fred Ottman, Typhoon going in, and that's cool. I mean, again, he's got the accolades, but one guy that should have been in earlier in the WWE Hall of Fame was Earthquake, John Tenta himself. The first agile big man, we'll put it that way. This is another big one because I was in the era. I grew up in the era of watching Earthquake, the battles that he had with Hulk Hogan. I mean, John Tenta should have been in a long time ago. This is one that another heartfelt one that I definitely like. A couple more, man. And I want to get your opinion on the immortal moment that's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13. No disqualification submission match. That's the one with Ken Shamrock as a special guest referee. And of course, you got the 3 legacy guys. Kamala finally getting into the Hall of Fame. I mean, another one that should have been in before he passed away. I mean,
before he passed away, Rudy, so Kamala is interesting. I think the story is Rudy try to get more money. He was headlining with Hulk Hogan, a few other guys as well. Doesn't get the money that I thought he deserved, and then Rudy just kind of, he's diabetic, and then just, it really went downhill from here. At some point, he was basically saying, "Hey, I'm pretty much on my last legs," literally. So it's good to see him here. And Brad and Austin, Rudy, those promos of Austin, talking about Bret Hart and this, was that the Iron Man match, Rudy?
No, that was the submission match, the no DQ submission match.
So
yeah, it wasn't. I think it was the Iron Man.
Okay, Iron Man match. No, just those two guys. It's just two professionals. I mean, you got Bret, who takes everything seriously, and then you got Austin, who's there cursing and doing all that stuff. Two different guys, but man, did they work? The chemistry, the promos, this and that. Just a sweet kiss there, man. Yeah,
no doubt about it. And you brought it up, a good point there. It's kind of like Bret Hart, the straight A student, the good guy, against Austin, the bully, the jock, basically, that picks on people. So that's kind of the factor right there.
Bret, I would love to see, and this might be something that we can talk about in the future. Love to see Owen Hart get in, but obviously there were some things that happened, and his wife snap permit WWE to let that happen. But we'd love to see Owen have his flowers, one day in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure where you stand on that, Rudy, but
for me, Owen Hart is part of WWE history, regardless of what happened. I mean, you're talking about, if you try to rank the top Canadian wrestlers of all time, Owen's got to be up there.
Oh yeah.
He did a whole lot for wrestling and was a great wrestler. So, truthfully, he definitely deserves to be, recognized as much as possible. So last two are Ivan Koloff and Dory Funk Sr. So pretty good Hall of Fame class going in for the WWE WrestleMania coming up this weekend. It'll be on Friday night. So we got more comments here. I'm busy Saturday night, so I'll watch it sometime Sunday. Got to be at church at 7 a.m. because I sing on the worship team. And after 2 services on Sunday, I have a barbecue. So busy week. I'm already tired for Joel. I'm already tired for him. You watch it whenever you can, man. We'll just, we'll get the preview for you tomorrow, and then we'll try to do a post show or something. Leha, MCS General Contracting's own Christopher Leha says, "What is up, everybody? What is up, everyone? A bit late, but we are here. Let's get it." Shout out to MCS General Contracting, man. They build the absolute best in San Antonio and surrounding areas. And I want to say this, the Spurs, they've been in a rebuild. To be honest, Joe, if they would have contacted Leha and the boys ahead of time, the rebuild would have been over. The construction would have been done. We would have already been probably raising title number 6. But no, they want to play games, and they don't want to call MCS General Contracting. They need to call them now. Why? Because they are the best in the business. And you know what? It's backed by Sweep the League. It's backed by Leha. It's his word. And you know what? His word is gold. Contact MCS General Contracting today. Shout out to Leha, man. Eddie, I think Lex's induction is long overdue. It's going to be an emotional night. I'm actually digging the fact that matches are now being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I like that, Gio. I'll go to the next comment. What match do you think off the top of your head? For me, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair. That match right there, I think, is one of the most iconic matches in wrestling. That little duel that they had, that little rivalry they had. I'm going to give you a little time because you got some wrestling, unless you got one off the top of your head.
Hogan versus The Rock. That was icon versus icon, Rudy. One of my favorite matches. Because if you remember, Rudy, the fans switched on The Rock. Hogan becomes baby, Rock becomes the heel literally during the match.
Yeah.
And that was great. Austin versus The Rock, that rivalry, they headlined 3 WrestleManias. Always a pleasure, but so many good matches.
Ladder match, Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon. Did Kane? I think Kane fought the Undertaker, right? In a
I think it was like a burning something fire
some
match.
burn blood, whatever. They would always, you know, and you got the Mankind in there. His crazy matches that he had at Mania.
That
but Taker's
Mankind versus Rock, I think, where the I Quit match, I think was a good one.
Taker, you know, what was your thought, Rudy, when the streak ended? Because that was kind of a weird, surreal moment. I didn't think it had to end against Brock because Brock didn't need it, right? Like
no.
Brock, he didn't need, like, that match wouldn't have made Brock, like, maybe someone else, Roman Reigns, like, right? I mean, I don't know. What do you?
I would say that I don't mind the streak ended. I minded who it ended to. I think is what it probably is. I don't know if it was really, like you said, Brock Lesnar wouldn't have benefited from ending the streak. He was already, you know, I mean, he was already the guy, basically getting to be the guy. So ending the streak was not exactly on my bingo card at the time. I don't mind that it ended. I knew it probably eventually would have had to have ended, but definitely not to Brock Lesnar. I think that was more of a shock for me. I didn't expect that to happen at all. Joel Colon, personally, Castle was the Rookie of the Year, but I wouldn't be mad if about it not being unanimous. Yeah, same here. Remember, boys, D's get degrees. Who cares about unanimous? Exactly. I think everybody's in favor of the, you know what, unanimous is not a big deal. Spurs fans bay and moan for everything. Lehan, I took them to court yesterday. Got to get into, I want to get your opinion on that here in a little bit here, because USOA, shout out to the USOA boys. They had Spurs on trial last night.
Another match, Rudy.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember all those ladder matches with the Hardy Boys, Edge,
I do remember that.
Dude, those were always a classic.
I do remember that. You know what? Yeah, the Dudley Boys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, those matches. Yeah, I definitely remember those. Sis, Stone Cold, and Hitman, hate it. LOL. Leha says, a winning season, actually competing, a competent head coach, a legit medical coaching staff. That's what we want. And we'll get into some Spurs talk. We're gonna review the USOA trial of the San Antonio Spurs later. So Leha definitely going to be in for that. McCool is a joke of an induction, and that's kind of the popularity thing right there. That's very popular opinion for a lot of people. Probably she should not have been inducted, and I kind of understand that. I'm not feeling that match either, Eddie. The WWE Hall of Fame is just some ceremonial event. It's of no importance. Every wrestler will make it eventually. I said what I said. Okay. And it's a lot easier to get in than the Baseball Hall of Fame, obviously, as you can tell by Bonds and P. Rose and those guys. So,
well, they look. Bonds should be in the. It's an absolute joke. And as I've always said, Rudy, Barry Bonds is a joke. He's done some pretty. He's not a very nice guy. I'm telling you right now, he's a jerk. But that still should not get him, like, not be able to join the Hall of Fame. He should be in. I get Pete Rose bet on baseball. Really, just let him in. I mean, look, FanDuel's everywhere now anyway. I think the thing is they just want him to admit it. And Pete Rose went to his grave, Rudy, and he didn't say what he needs to say.
Didn't he sign autographs? I bet on baseball. I mean, I think he clearly admitted it.
He did, but I don't. So I think he didn't say if he bet it during when he was playing.
Well, it was when he was coaching.
Yeah, coaching.
Yeah, coach of the Reds. But he said he never bet on his games, like his team's games.
Yeah, which was probably a lie. But look, I mean, he should get in. Kurt Schilling should get it. He's another one he's ruffled a lot of feathers. But I mean, Rudy, who's the guy that you think should be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
That's not right now. Oh man, that's a great question. Okay, clarify it for me. I'm just, for whatever reason, I feel like he's in, but I know he's not. Owen Hart's not in there, is he?
No, his wife will not.
Okay, so that is the one big dark cloud, is Owen Hart. I understand his wife doesn't want him to, but there's got to be a way now. Okay, now that Vince McMahon is basically done with WWE, you have Triple H running it. You've got new owners, new investors, basically all this stuff. How is it that they cannot come to terms with getting Owen in? That was a McMahon thing. So why aren't they able to come to terms with now Owen getting in, knowing that Vince is really not a part of it anymore at all?
That's a good question. I'm sure WWE's had these conversations behind closed doors, simply just saying, hey, let's see if we can get him in here. Vince is not obviously associated. Vince has got his own things to worry about. That's a good question. I don't know where the wife stands at this point. I mean, obviously she blamed the WWE for a lot. I mean, didn't she take them to court, Rudy? I believe. So it was a tough situation. Even Bret Hart has said, just let them celebrate Owen. And she won't to this day. I've heard one other guy, Rudy. It's very controversial. And
Bad
he was,
Brown.
he was a hell of a wrestler, but it's what he did to his family.
So yeah, well, we'll just say I can't even say the Crippler crossfade or whatever it is.
The
Crippler.
Christopher Crossface.
The Crippler. We'll say Benoit. We'll just say it, Benoit. We understand what happened, but go ahead. I'm gonna give it to you here.
I had a conversation with my friend earlier. He says, "Dad, do you think Chris Benoit should get it?" I said, "No." I understand, Rudy. We talk about personal things happening outside, and we've seen a lot of things over the years with guys doing things outside of their sports.
Yeah.
But Rudy, this is not going to happen, and I don't think it should. It's going to be if that ever happened, Rudy, it's going to be cringy. It's just not going to sit right. And I get it. He's a hell of a wrestler, Rudy. The technician he was, former champion. I mean, Rudy, that man, you go watch some of his matches with Kurt Angle. I mean, they are just technical, man. It's just brilliant to watch. Yeah. But what he did, Rudy,
it's unforgivable.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy, man, because Sith and I, we've actually talked about doing like a dark, like they do the dark side of the ring, and I told him, we can go darker side of the ring, because I mean, the rumors are out there that Chris really didn't do it. I mean, you've got so many conspiracy guys out there saying that technically there's a chance Benoit didn't do it, that it was set up. And we'll never know. Obviously there's one side of the story, but the Taskmaster, Kevin Sutherland, is the guy that they point to as the guy who basically did it. And I mean, to be honest, man, we don't know. We will never know. We just know what was reported and what happened. So I get what you're saying. I wouldn't want him in there because of what you said, because it's a very cringy type moment. It's a very, very, very heartbreaking moment, for because of what happened. But I do understand, if it ever came out, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, man. That's a difficult one. That's a difficult one.
It's so, because listen, as a worker, as all that stuff you want to put in, the respect, but clearly what he did. Another guy, Rudy, underrated. How about the man behind the music, Jim Johnston, who made music for WWE for, it seemed like, everybody. I think he deserves. And then another guy, I don't think Psycho Sid is in, who I believe passed away, Rudy, was it last year or maybe the year before?
I can't remember offhand.
I believe he passed away. He's another one. And then last one, British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, I think has an opportunity if he's not in already, because WWE seem to put everybody in nowadays. So it's like, didn't Snoop Dogg get in, Rudy? I swear Snoop Dogg got in.
Yeah, I think he did. Now, Davey Boy Smith is in there. He was inducted back in 2020. So Davey Boy was in there.
Okay.
But yeah. I did look down because it did sound familiar. I think he was in there. But Jim Johnston, I mean, yeah, it's one guy that you would think he's He's the master behind a lot of the music that you got, the intro music for wrestlers and even for certain pay-per-views and everything like that. So Jeff was wanting to know why. And we're on a wrestling tangent here. I love this. Why did Quake get a delayed induction? I truly don't know the answer to that. That might be something that Sith may be able to answer tomorrow. I don't know why, but there's a lot of reasons why, because you see a lot of people who aren't in that should still be in and don't get in, or you see guys that, what was it? Just, years back, the Warrior just got inducted. And I know he had issues with WWE, but I mean, you're talking about a whole era where the Warrior was that guy, and you would think he would have been an easily first couple of years, Hall of Fame, just ideally just easily in there. So it's hard to say. And then, Triple H going in by himself, he's just going in by himself now. He was that front runner, one of the front runners in that Attitude Era. I mean, it's crazy how certain guys make it in earlier than others, and you're like, wow, this guy's still not in there. But that's why Quake, we'll find out a little bit more. Joel, WWE owns it, so he's talking about the Hall of Fame. So yeah, everybody will get in.
Did you happen to catch Triple H on? He was on. Was it Pat? No, it wasn't Pat McAfee. It's the other one. Was it Big Cat or?
Oh, Barstool, I think is what it was.
Yes, yeah, he was on there. He's talking about one of the worst wrestlers he's ever wrestled. And
Ahmed Johnson.
He mentioned Ahmed Johnson, and my friend is a big fan of Ahmed Johnson. I'm trying to tell him, dude, Ahmed hurt people, man. He wasn't a good wrestler. He hurt people. And Ahmed, if you hear this, I'm sorry, but there's so many. We can do a whole podcast, really, on Ahmed Johnson and his stories. So. And he had that feud with Farouk, and Farouk punched him, I think, in the ribs or something. I mean, it's just crazy.
That's back in the day, man. Yeah, Ahmed was a very tough guy to work with, no doubt. John Tenta, Earthquake, was a really good heel, and he's been described as the nicest guy, one of the nicest guys in wrestling. Natural disasters is overdue. I totally agree with that. Hall of Fame means something to us fans, man. Not everyone gets in. Sith is a diehard on that. Here, Sith. Brett versus Sean, the Montreal screw job.
How can we forget that, Rudy?
But that doesn't go into the Hall of Fame. You really want to have that in the Hall of Fame. It changed the trajectory of WWF, WWE, is what Seth said. I can understand. It's one of the more memorable, controversial matches, but
and real, by the way. This wasn't a kind of spot. Like, this was real, Rudy. He spit on Vince McMahon's face and then goes backstage and punches Vince. He's pissed at Sean. I don't know how many people know. I think the ref and Vince knew. I don't think JR, who is, I believe, the director of talent, and I don't think most people didn't know, Rudy. They didn't know.
But apparently Sean and Triple H knew.
Yes. Sean did know. So
of course they denied it, but I mean, they had to. Yeah, not everybody knew. I get that. But is it a Hall of Fame immortal match?
The match actually is more of an afterthought because of the moment.
Wasn't it? It was, to me, it wasn't a great match. If not for the screw job, would it be a memorable one?
So Sean's in his drinking, right? He's been drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Drugs, just
dark days. Yeah.
The dark days of Shawn Michaels. And even in 98, I believe, Rudy, at WrestleMania, Shawn doesn't want to drop the belt to Austin. He just doesn't want to do it. He grudgingly does it. So Shawn was just not at his peak. And obviously Brett's out the door. He's going to WCW. And unfortunately, Brett got hurt by Mr. Bill Goldberg. And we can also talk about that guy on another show. Yeah. He's another guy who also hurt people too.
Yeah, those were during Sean's dark days, even though he did have a few sunny days. Maybe you can get that reference there for those of you out there. So
he did. And, listen, I think he was a hell of a wrestler just during that time frame. Rudy, just was some dark days for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. AEW has an Owen Hart tourney. That's good for now. Okay, we can do with that. I'm a WWE fan, Elias. Have been for a really long time. And you've been a lot, but it's just ceremonial. It's just a matter of time till Eugene makes it. Holy cow. Inferno match, baby. That's what it was. The Inferno match. Mick Foley versus Orton in a hardcore match is highly underrated. Roman is the second person to have beaten Taker at Mania. Hardy Boys are pioneers. Would y'all mind Malone being hired as Pop's successor? We'll get into that here in a little bit. We got some Spurs talk that will be coming up here, trying to get through some of your, actually all your comments. Can Mick Foley get in as 3 guys? Cactus Mankind.
You know what, Rudy? I would like that. that would be really good.
Wow. Benoit was shoo-in for the W Hall of Fame before he snapped. Can't ever forgive him for what he did. Canadian Crippler, Chris Benoit can burn in hell. That's where he belongs in again. You know, we read all your comments. Dean Malenko should definitely be in the Hall of Fame if he's not.
You know,
100%.
I like, Dean, that man's a wrestler, and he's also wrestled I believe in Japan and other. He may have not obviously had the run, Rudy, in WWE, so people tend to. But if you ask actual wrestlers about Dean Malenko, they know that he's a worker.
Yeah, and by the way, Malenko is not in the WWE Hall of Fame just yet. So, the Wolverine, Benoit, one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. He was a tank of a man. He gave up his body for the sport, but we can't forgive him. Benoit versus Angle at Mania is goated. Agree with that? He's not. I just go.
And the fact
with it. Yeah.
That WWE, Rudy, remember the night after they had that kind of ceremony?
Yeah.
And WWE didn't even know what happened. Shame on you, Vince.
Yeah, that's
shame on you. They and the only guy, Rudy, I found this out years ago. The only guy who was hesitant was William Regal, because apparently William Regal, I believe, lived near Chris Benoit and was hearing things about what was going on. He was the only guy that was hesitant during that big old ceremony that we were doing. Of course, Vince misses the ball, but then again, Vince McMahon also wore a do-rag and also said other things as well that I won't repeat on air.
Yeah, we can't repeat it on there. I mean, you get dragged through the mud, and you know what? That's not the way we are here. Won't say anything more because something happened earlier today. I won't mention. But Bulldog is in. Eddie, thumbs up to Eddie. Goldberg can't wrestle. He cannot wrestle. Just ask Bret Hart on that. Goldberg is one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time. Get into all your comments, man. But again, tomorrow we're going to be doing the WrestleMania preview for you guys out there. It's going to be myself. It's going to be Sith. It's going to be at 7:00. So don't have to worry about waiting too long. As soon as we're done at 7:00, it's going to be Sweep the League TV. So you're getting double duty tomorrow. We'll see about for Friday. We'll see if Jacob is going to take over for Friday's edition. If not, we'll see if we can get something going here for you on Sweep the League. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the way back, Spurs talk, man. It's going to be Spurs talk. And Gio, I actually have a small rant that you're a kid. You may actually pull me off the ledge on my rant here. But when we get back, I'm going to talk about some Spurs with you. You know, Pop successor, USOA, shout out to them. They put the Spurs on trial last night. Got pretty ugly. I don't have the video, but it got pretty ugly. See if we can get into it, man. We'll get to here in just a little bit. Sweep the League TV. Coach Gio, Rudy Campos Jr. will be back. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Make sure you subscribe and catch our new videos.
Sweep the League TV with Rudy Derrick and Coach Gio. Let's get back to the live show. You are watching the best in the business.
Welcome back to Sweep the League. I shared a little video with you on the side there, but welcome back to Sweep the League. Coach Gio, Rudy Campos Jr. Be sure to go to our YouTube page, subscribe to that YouTube page. All you gotta do is search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Also, Iron Refocused Radio, hit that subscribe button on both of those as well. Why? Because it is all together finally. We were partners for a long time. We worked together. We're side by side. Now it is all one big old network for everybody, 24/7, made possible by the sponsors, as you can see below. And it is MCS General Contracting. Lay on the boys, take care of you the first time. Every time they're going to get the job done right, no matter what. That is MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Gio, it's Cheesemate time.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Cheeseman. Dime, por favor.
All right, thank you, Spurs Cheesemate Girl. And here we go. It's the we're going to do the MCS building the brand for the Spurs as well. But first things first, USOA, Gio, they the boys at USOA, you're a member, I'm a member. They put the Spurs on trial last night. And basically it was heated. You had a couple of people, from what I understand, because I was in there for a little bit. Probably were defending the Spurs, saying, you know what, they're learning, they're young, they're this and that. I'll say this much. The team has been together. The core has been together for a few years already. Now, this is Wemby's second year. I get that. Castle's first year. But the other guys have been there a little bit. So if you look at it one way, you went 22 wins last year. You got to 34. That's a 12-game turnaround. Most people say that's a positive. That's a good step in the right direction. But you have a lot of guys that are saying this team is still trash. It's coaching. They could have added more wins if they would have got a better coach. If Pop went out and got a better coach, they could have added more wins. I'll give you that. Mitch's coaching was very suspect at times. Then it's also the players. Devin shows up, shows out. Shows up, shows out. Never consistent. Then you got Wemby going down. De'Aaron Fox being out for the season after the trade for a while. You know, he plays and he's going to be out for the year. A lot of things happened. But ultimately, at the beginning of the year, this is exactly what I expected from the Spurs. I never expected 40 wins. I said 30 wins, but 35 on the high. But I had them at 30. So really, for me, the season went exactly as planned. So I can't be upset at it because I knew how it was going to go. What are your thoughts? I mean, they said the Spurs season was a failure, and I will never argue against that fact because fans are going to fan. They're going to have their opinions, and they're going to be vocal about it. Could they have done more, the Spurs? Probably. I think the one move they could have done was not necessarily give it to Mitch Johnson, put it in the hands of Brett Brown. He coached the Sixers. He was there during a lot of those great successful years of the Spurs. He's a true Pop guy. So I think maybe giving it to Brett Brown would have been the right move, in my opinion. I'm going to give you the floor, man.
Well, Rudy, I actually said that when they gave the interim job.
You did.
I even said, why not just give it to Brown? It's the former head coach, Rudy. I mean, he's been in the league for a while. Why not just give him the reins? But Rudy, I'm alongside of what you just said. I wasn't expecting much from this team.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. Yes, I want to see strides in Victor's game, and I think we definitely saw that this year, Rudy. He'll continue to improve. We saw Castle obviously play well, and you know there's some guys on this team that I don't really care much for. I was a big proponent of keeping Devin Vassell, and it's a lot of lows, some highs, low. You know, it's not consistency amongst a lot of these guys, not just him. But Rudy, I wasn't expecting much. Honestly, I'm alongside of you. I wasn't expecting a playoff team. Sure, we got hyped when they got the trade coming in, and it's possible they could make a run because they were still in it. But we said it, Rudy. The Western Conference was brutal.
Very.
I mean, look what the Rockets did this year, Rudy. I mean, look at the season they had, and Memphis and the Warriors. They're getting. It was just too much competition for the Spurs. So I'm not surprised. You didn't catch me being upset. This is a team that's not very good, and it showed on the court.
So do you see now? I see 34 wins as a plus. I do see it as a plus. Now, again, is it a good thing? No. They missed the playoffs. They missed the play-in, and they missed it by a good 7 games, maybe 8 games is what they missed it by. So I say it's a plus.
I mean, it's an improvement, Rudy.
It's an improvement. I'll say it was an improvement.
Well, think about this, Rudy.
Went through.
If your Falcons went 1-17, right? The next year they won 8 games. That's a pretty good year, right? Like compare what the year before was. Mm-hmm. Rudy, what you want to do is continue to build, right?
Yeah.
Last year's wins, this year's wins. If they keep progressing and keep doing what they're supposed to do, eventually they're going to get into the playoffs. But Spurs fans thought anything else was going to happen is honestly beyond me. Some of those people in San Antonio, no disrespect, some of y'all are delusional. And I've seen some of y'all on X. So whatever you want to call it. So
hey, there were people out there that said 40 wins and this is a playoff team and this is a play-in team. I just sat back and ate my popcorn and drank my beer because I didn't. Basically, if you go back on Locked On, I remember saying to Jeff, adding Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes adds wins, but it doesn't make them a play-in team, not even a playoff team. I mean, they're going to fight for a play-in spot, which they did for a little while there. But going back to this, I'm going to ask you, as far as Spurs fans go, you can be pissed off about the season. No doubt about that. You have high expectations for it. No, that's fine. But when it comes to Spurs fans, do you expect them to lower their standards? Because the reason why they're pissed off is because Spurs fans, albeit a lot of the Spurs fans are relatively young. I grew up in the pre-Robinson era where they were good, but they were bad. They were okay. So my expectations have always been pre-Robinson, where it's like, oh, they won, sweet. Oh, they're playoff. Oh, okay. Well, they're going to miss the playoffs. No big deal. But the younger generation, the Tim Duncan era, they don't know losing. So I don't blame them for having high standards. If that makes sense a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it does make a lot of sense. Obviously pre-Robinson Spurs weren't. I mean, obviously they had Gervin, right? Like, so that they were formidable. I think made a trip to the Western Conference Finals. But yeah, Rudy, I've told you this over the years. Once Duncan left, and obviously they had that stretch with Kawhi there, and LaMarcus Aldridge, where they went to the Western Conference Finals, Rudy, and then freaking Zaza Pachulia. We saw what he did there. But anyway, Rudy, I prepared myself mentally. I said, this team is not going to be very good for a long time. And that was when, Rudy, back in 2018? Or
yeah, it was around that time.
Somewhere around that time, I told myself, Julio, this is going to be a team that is not going to be very good. At some points, not competitive at all. And this is what has to happen for you to get to that point. It's taken a while. But you got Victor, you got Castle there, right?
You got Fox.
You got Fox in it. You got your guy. The draft's coming up, free agency. Guys, just relax. I understand that you're the only ticket in town besides UTSA football. I get it. It sucks. But just be a little bit more patient with the Spurs. I think really they forget that they're a small market as well. I think that's something that sometimes plays a certain element of why they haven't been able to attract, but obviously they've been young too, and people have just been coming and going. But Rudy, there's a factor there, Rudy. Now, yeah, Oklahoma City is not the norm, okay? They get draft picks every week, it seems like these days. And they turn it into gold, and they stole SGA from the Clippers.
That's true, man. Let me get to these comments before we go on here. Again, it's Coach Joe, Rudy Campos Jr. saying, talking about San Antonio Spurs. Got a little more to talk about as well here on Sweep the League TV, sponsored by MCS General Contracting. So he's talking about, Seth is talking about Raw when they held the memorial that you mentioned. That was basically Vince had to force to break this limo death. I remember that limo blowing up there because of the Benoit thing. Rudy, if Kevin Sullivan really did it, as the rumors say, then it was probably about Nancy, woman, since she was with Kevin before Christy. That's the reason why I think Kevin comes up a lot in that Benoit conspiracy theory. I want to dive deep into that. I want to go down that rabbit hole. If you want to go down that rabbit hole with me, fine. And I know Sith will probably go down that rabbit hole with me. He says, yeah, Joel, that's the story. That would be crazy. Sith and Leha were debating for 3 hours on this Spurs subject on USOA. And we got more comments here. Jeff saying, is Mitch now off the short list with as many coaches that are available right now? It's funny. I talked to Derek Irvin yesterday and I said, Derek, I remember telling everybody 2025, that off season, it's going to be brutal. You're going to have a ton of stars that are going to be on the move. But little did I know, the coaching carousel, you've got some massive coaches available now. So if it's me, I'm talking to Mitch like, hey, brother, thank you. But we are going to go in a different direction and see if we can get one of these guys. Now, of course, you got to wait for Pop. But I'm even talking to Pop saying, Pop, love you to death, man. Love you to death. But I need an answer now. I need to know what's going on. I'm not trying to force you out, but I'm forcing you to give me an answer because it's not every offseason, Gio, that you're going to have Malone, Taylor Jenkins, Mike Brown, possibility of other coaches coming up available here. I mean, Budenholzer's available. These guys have championships under them. Mike Malone, most recently with Denver, Budenholzer with Milwaukee. Mike Brown went to the finals with the Cavs against the Spurs, and he's also got titles under his belt too.
Didn't Mike win Coach of the Year with the Kings, Rudy?
Yes. So I mean, this is the time where you're like, Pop, love you to death. I need to know now what's going on. Not saying you have to resign, but I need to know.
But Rudy, if I'm the Spurs, Rudy, you might have to make a decision for Pop.
Thank you. That was my next point. It might have to happen.
It sucks because I think the world of Pop, and listen, 5 championships and all that has been great, Rudy. Yes. But at the end of the day is, what have you done for me lately? I get what happened this season. Not even talking about that. I'm just saying in previous seasons, it just hasn't worked out. And then I know he wants to coach Victor, Rudy, like continuing that. But Rudy, at this stage of his life, I just don't see that happening. And there's too many options, Rudy. A Mike Malone. I mean, there's so many guys you have an opportunity to get. And then if Pop leaves you next year, what are the options? Doc Rivers?
I sure as hell hope not. I do not want Glenn Doc Rivers in San Antonio.
Did you catch what he said a few weeks ago?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
He told, why doesn't no one give me credit for being up 3-1? Yeah, he actually said that. And he confided in Stephen A. Smith before, and Stephen A. Smith says, do not say that publicly. Do not. Doc, no one is going to give you credit for being up 3-1 and losing and having your team lose the lead, bro. Anyway, I just wanted to add it in there.
Why do we have to keep it in Pop's family tree? Why not get away from that? Brett Brown is a good coach, but I don't think it would be the future. Let's go young. Let's get the Sean McVay of the NBA. Now,
hey, Sean McVay.
To the point for Joel, I only wanted Brett Brown for this season to take over for Pop. With Pop being out, I think Brett should have been the guy to take over, not Mitch Johnson. That was me. This is only for this season. Nothing to do with the future seasons. It should have been somebody else. But again, with the short list, with the list that they have now for coaches, it's time to have that conversation, man. We got to know what's going on here. The Mavs are able to stay in the playing contention after losing everyone. This team is a 2-pack of ass full of excuses. Again, I have no problem with any fan who is pissed off, who's upset about the season. On paper for me, Gio, this was not a play-in team. This was not a playoff team. Not yet. We said they're going to go get Fox. They got Fox. Okay, cool. Now you're starting to get there. Now you got to get into the off season, get the other guys that you want to get in here, make some changes, do what you need to do. And I feel next season, I'm a little more giddy, not Josh Giddy. I'm a little more giddy, because I think that the Spurs are going to be more in contention for play in with now the possibility of a playoff. Why? Because the Phoenix Suns are about to blow up. The Memphis Grizzlies, the chances of John Morant maybe being moved because of all his antics. So we may see guys go to the East Coast now, out of the Western Conference. Denver's not looking very, very good, to be honest with you. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams in the West that are probably going to start declining, and maybe some of those guys are going to start being moved east. I mean, it's going to be pretty much wide open if stuff happens in the offseason for the Western Conference. So, again, there's no argument for Gio and I when it comes to if you're pissed off. I mean, be pissed off, and that's what it is, the standard. A lot of people have a certain standard for the Spurs, and that's it. I'm sorry, but no Spurs fan had to experience 6 straight losing seasons, so yeah, everyone should be mad. That's what I'm saying. The experience. Me, again, I was back in the 80s. I experienced low times, high times, not Snoop Dogg times, but high times, low times, and I just, it was kind of that era where it was like, okay, man, the Robinson era, Gio, success. We were excited for playoff time.
Unfortunately, though, once you got
bombarded.
Once you got to the playoffs, really, some of those Spurs teams were really disappointing.
Very. And, it was very lackluster. Getting the Rod Strickland behind his back against Portland. F me. We're done.
Losing against the Jazz, I think twice.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 times, I think.
The Jazz.
Yeah. Losing
against the Golden State Warriors. And I remember that time because the Spurs could never beat Run TMC, ever. Going up against them in the playoffs, getting beat. Well, at that time, Paul Pressey was our starting point guard because I think at the time Rod Strickland was injured. But I mean, yeah, you can't really say we've experienced this many losing seasons. I mean, we've had losing seasons before. But again, you should be mad if you want to be mad as a Spurs fan. We agree. Yeah. Be mad. Look, be pissed off.
Nobody wants to be sorry. I mean,
yeah, nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants a loser. Nobody wants to cheer for a loser.
Listen, even as a Rams fan, Rudy, you know what the Rams were like before they got to LA. It was 10 plus years of absolutely disaster.
Yeah.
1-win season, 2-win season, 3-win season. Terrible. So, look, I'm not putting any excuses. The team's just not good. So, for you Spurs fans who thought they were going to make the playoffs, you should be upset, but you should have saw this also coming. I mean, no Diddy, but,
Jesus Christ, we're gonna get flagged left and right, man. In Leja saying even Gio's hitting the excuse, but Leja's still in here. And I've got a question for Leja. I actually want to bring him on the show. Maybe a couple of weeks or a week or so, we'll bring him on the show. I want to ask. So, truth be told, and heart to heart for Leja and everybody out there, if you had the Spurs winning 30 to 34 games, I think Leja said about 34 games is what he had, 30, 34, right around there. Then, if you've got him winning that many games, then what would why was the expectation playing? Or in other words, why would you, and I'm asking personally, why would you be upset if you have them as one of the worst teams in the league? So that's my thing. If I had them at 30 wins, so I already knew they weren't a play-in team already at that point. If you had them at 34 wins, that should tell you you're not a play-in team. So what was the expectation, I guess, for me?
45 wins is kind of insane. I didn't see that coming. There's no way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there was no way they were getting to 40. There was no way they were getting to 40. I mean, a couple of podcasters in town, I saw one, I think had them at like 41, 42 wins. And I'm sitting there like, I have no idea where you get all these wins from. There's no way. But that's a legit question for everybody out there who had them at 30, 34 wins. Not saying you cannot be pissed off. Be pissed off. Be a fan. You know, that you have the right to. But if you have them at a win total that doesn't make them a playing team, I truly want to know what was the expectation. That's my thing. What was the expectation? Pop fans are going to want to march him out like weekend at Bernie's. Holy crap. That is massive. Rudy and Gio, what if the Rod Strickland pass does connect with Elliott? Does the San Antonio Spurs beat the Blazers and move on to play the Piston Bad Boys? Do they beat Detroit in that finals, Gio?
Nah, I just think Detroit was clearly the best team in the league, Rudy. So,
yeah. I will agree with that. I think Detroit beats the Spurs. Spurs get to their first NBA finals, but Detroit does beat the San Antonio Spurs. And I just got DM'd a huge rabbit hole. Oh my God. I'm going to have to check that out in a little bit here.
Well, Rudy, don't they play? Is that 91, Rudy? Or is that 90?
No,
Is that
because Robinson came in. Spurs, Blazers, Western Conference Finals, Rod Strickland.
Is that because then Portland played the Lakers in the conference finals, I believe? Is that 91? I don't remember. It's
that was in 90.
Oh, okay.
Or no, 1990s when Rod Strickland made that behind the back pass.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that was in the 90s, and that would have sent the Spurs to the conference finals. Yeah, cost Spurs a chance to advance to the Western Conference Finals. I think they would have got to the finals that year. They were clearly probably the best team in the West that year, but I don't think they beat the Pistons. There's no way.
Yeah, because they'll end up playing Phoenix in the conference finals, and I think Phoenix was the 5th seed, Rudy. They got all the way to the conference finals and had a hell of a run. But yeah, Rudy, Spurs, Pistons, Pistons, Spurs, I don't. Now, Portland lost, 4-1 in that series? I mean, could David get you 2 wins? I'm sure he could, Rudy.
I think the Spurs make it competitive, but I think it's Pistons in 6. Is like you said. I think Pistons do get it in 6. There's no doubt about that. I have no doubt about that. Gio, before we go, man, got a little rant. I need you to. You're young. You're a young guy, so I need you to get me off the ledge here. See if I'm right or if I'm wrong here. Where's the rant page? I got to get my rant. There it is. Here we go. All right. So my rant today has nothing to do with sports, Gio, but it has something to do with your generation. Okay.
Wait, are you sure it's my generation or it's below?
You're like 25, right?
I'm in my I'm 35 already.
Okay. So just
no, it is definitely below my era already.
So what I'm going to rant about is this. This is the social media era, the TikTok era, the I want to be a celebrity era, the I need likes and I need, 1 million followers era. Why? Today I walked into Buc-ee's. I hadn't eaten lunch, going in for my lunch. Thought, you know what? I need to grab a quick lunch because I got to go.
What'd you get though, Rudy?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So I walked into Buc-ee's and you know what? It's packed, but it's not super packed at all. I mean, it's not as normally packed as what it is. Got to go pick up my daughter from school. So I'm like, you know what? Let me leave. Let me get lunch. Head over there. Have you been to a Buc-ee's?
No, but I've dreamed of going one day. So it's definitely on my list.
You definitely have to try it. It's a massive convenience store.
I mean, really, trust me. I've seen videos. I know what I'm going in there for. So I'm already prepared. I just haven't gotten it yet. There's one in Kentucky, not too far from me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to bring this up here. So shout out to Buc-ee's. And this is the reason why we're getting into it, because this is actually kind of the reason where it happened. I walk into Buc-ee's here and I'm in a rush. Not so much in a rush. I'm just trying to get my sandwich. I need to get a sandwich. I got a barbecue turkey sandwich. So Turkey sandwich, one of the healthiest things you can get there because it's not healthy at all, but one of the healthiest things you can get there. The only thing I bought was a turkey sandwich. Well, it was a girl live on TikTok on her phone, just like this, cued in on this guy right here. Now, not this guy in particular, but the guy cutting up the barbecue, slicing the barbecue, everything like that, just cutting it up, making pulled pork, whatever. I don't care. She's there recording. The turkey sandwich is right there in front of her. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm respectful. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna dive in front of her. She's obviously live. So I'm like, okay, excuse me, can I get a sandwich for her real quick, please? No problem. She steps back a little bit. I still can't get to it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna reach for it. I reach for it and I get the, excuse me, you are in my live shot. Can you please move? And I'm thinking, wait a minute. All right. No one says you have to record in public. If you're at Buc-ee's and you want to put, your live or your video, you're recording the video or whatever the hell you're doing. Everybody knows about Buc-ee's. How many more effing likes? How many more effing views can you get from a guy chopping brisket up for a stupid sandwich?
Rudy, you might be trending, Rudy.
I mean, I get the, excuse me, you're in my shot. Now, I look back and I'm like, okay. That's all I say. Okay. Like, who gives a damn? Like, to me, who gives a damn? So talk me off the ledge because I'm getting tired of everyone when it comes to fights in school, when it comes to, you know what, I'm going to order everything off the menu and take a bite out of everything and give you my review of this restaurant, or I'm going to record everything that I do in my life. We are living in the damn Truman Show is what we're living in. Everything, every aspect of our life is being recorded and put on social media. I can't get an effing sandwich without, someone having to record something or me interrupting a shot. Like, who gives a damn? Nobody cares. The same thing has been shown on social media, Gio, forever. I mean, explain to me, am I wrong about this rant? How I get called out or I be told you are in my shot? Do I have a right to be pissed off at that?
You do, Rudy. I don't fault you at all. This era is, or these kids are it's a very different time. I've had some, not necessarily that, but I had some similar things that have happened, and these people they're always recording. How many videos on Buc-ee's are there out there? Why do you have to be recording in a Buc-ee's when people are trying to eat? It would honestly piss me off as well. So I feel your pain, Rudy. I'm not going to get off the ledge because honestly, I would feel the exact same way. And I know you like to put me in that age group, but I am not in that age group.
Well, no, you are not that person.
Yeah,
and I say young. You're like the young outside of Rock, because Rock is very, very young.
Yeah.
Among our producers, they're young too. But I mean, I talk to you the most, so you're the youngest that we talk to.
So it's the days and time. Rudy, you always got stories like this.
Well, I tell you because it bothers the hell out of me.
No,
I mean, I'm hungry. I hadn't eaten. I go on a fast, so I don't eat past 8:00. And if I do, it's something very minimal. Maybe a couple of veggie chips or maybe some fruit, something like that. But I fast till noon. Well, I didn't get to eat today till 2:15. So I mean, I'm a pretty fat guy. I'm hungry, and I just want my effing sandwich. And I get in your live shot. I go, excuse me, you're in my shot. The next time that happens, Gio, I'm gonna throw the bird right at the damn camera.
Rudy, you're gonna end up on TikTok.
I don't care.
For all we know, Rudy, you're on TikTok right now trending.
Who cares? If I am, that'd be awesome for the show.
She's gonna say guy walking in front of my live stream trying to get a sandwich.
Big fat guy with bottle what is it? The bottle cap glasses.
Yeah.
trends at Buc-ee's for telling women I don't care, or whatever. I mean, who cares? I don't know, man. That was my rant because it pissed me off to the point where I just paid and left, and I just wanted to get out of there. I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, I'm always anti, everyone trying to make a dollar. It basically is what it is. I'm tired of everyone trying to make a dollar, trying to earn a living by being effing lazy. That's what it is. If it's not flipping cards, like buying boxes of cards and Pokemon cards and then reselling them for 9 times the value, or it's, people going into 7-Eleven just to record the slushy machine, because apparently if you go live on TikTok and it's called ASMR or whatever it is, the noise or something, that if you do that, you get like 5,000 people on your live view. Like we talked about the other day, those great big old people that eat all that food. I mean, 7,000, 10,000 likes and views, up in the hundreds of thousands.
Rudy, that is something that is happening. There's a lady who eats pickles and people watch. Why couldn't it be me? I love pickles. I can sit down there and eat pickles. Maybe we're in the wrong profession, Rudy.
Well, also maybe we actually work hard for a living that we have.
Yeah, that's true.
What we have. I mean, I know I have a busy life. I don't have time to sit there and eat 24, burgers and all this stuff. Now, hey, dude, back in the day, if I would have recorded everything that I ate, you damn well realize I would have had probably 1 million followers, and all 1 million of them are looking at me like, this dude is fat. I'm going to give him a like, because every like that I give him adds $5 to his account, which means he can go get another 3 burgers somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe we are the wrong part.
By the way, everyone, Red Robin has this thing going on tomorrow, Rudy. They're giving away 20 passes for free burgers every day for a month. I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. You got to sign up, but if anyone's interested, it's probably going to be hard as hell because it's going to get pretty packed in there. So,
Jesus.
And
Christ.
You can do it online. I like burgers, but not to the point where I want to have a burger every day. Because I would feel like if I won free burgers every day, Rudy, I would feel like I would have to eat a burger every day.
Probably, but you with no bun. I mean, it's a bun burger.
Yeah. No, and listen, protein. Red Robin does have some pretty decent burgers.
They're okay. They're not bad.
No, yeah.
The fat kid in me is saying they're pretty good. So, what else is pretty good is MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League and Divine Refocused Radio. The best thing to do is go to our YouTube page. All you got to do is search Sweep the League TV. That way you can get all of our content 24/7. More Sweep Unplugged episodes. We got Fight Inside podcast. We got The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. That was just added. Grading the Market. STL 316 coming to you live tomorrow. Sweep the League TV coming to you Monday through Friday. Jacob Barrick is going to be taking you to down the road stretch on Sweep the League TV a few nights out of the week as well. So be sure to catch us here, as well as Austin Hartsfield coming back on for a little bit for Painting Corners podcast. This is tons of stuff coming out. Brought to you by MCS General Contracting. Shout out to Chris Leha and the boys. They do a fantastic job, and they will do it right the first time every time. Why? Because they are building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. That is MCS General Contracting. So for Coach Gio, it's Rudy Campos Jr. We've got STL 316 tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Then the big show right after at 9 o'clock, Sweep the League TV. Until we see you guys tomorrow, we'll see you later, Knuckleheads.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and I have the podcast, The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. You can catch me every Saturday as I air a new show. You can follow me on drpbetterlife.com for all of the links and information.